I've got the wrong colour on, haven't
Yeah. Did you not get the memo?
Fuck's sake, you got to blend.
No.
Oh no, that's all right because I'm black. See, so
Yeah.
blue and black.
It's going different, isn't it? It's got raw blue, proper blue, and black.
Anyway, good morning, everybody. It's the 4th of June. We're Signal Centre talking ball. Joe Naber, Steve O'Hare, and Ian Coleman. Morning, guys.
Good morning.
Everybody all right?
Yeah, all good.
In the hood. Yeah.
Okay.
Put the heating on this morning, but apart from that,
Bloody hell, really?
yeah, it's
bad.
fucking freezing up here.
Jesus.
I've got a window open.
Yeah.
It's still a bit humid, isn't it?
Yeah, it was muggy last night.
To check my radiators come on, actually. Got socks on and.
I'm shorts and t-shirt and windows open.
I bet you still haven't got your pants on though.
I'm not going to show. I should move back to Essex, really.
Yeah, was there a European member of Parliament who was sitting doing an interview with no trousers on?
Really?
Had pants on. Yeah, some Irish guy. I think he was a European member of Parliament who did this obviously lockdown interview, and he was just sitting on his bed, sort of scratching his leg. Just bizarre.
Why not, eh?
Yeah, why not?
It's all accepted now, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the norm.
Absolutely.
Anyway, how did everybody do yesterday? Anything that stood out? Anything to take?
I think it's all today. I think yesterday was a bit of a.
There was a fair amount of data out there yesterday, wasn't there? So what do we have? We had US ADP that recorded a decline in private sector employment to 2.76 million for May. Following the revised slump of 19.6 million for April, but it was much lower than the consensus forecast, which was 9 million. So from 2.76 to 9 million, who was doing the numbers for that?
God knows.
That woman that works for the Labour Party woman.
Oh, careful, Diane.
Diane Abbott, yeah.
Diane Abbott.
She's great at numbers.
She's good at flicking coins.
The ISM manufacturing number was better than expected yesterday as well. That recovered to 45.4 from 41.8. The expectation was 44.2, so a bit of a tick up, 1.2 tick up in that for the previous month. Markets, according to our report this morning, remain nervous over the US civil protests in the obviously that we've seen in the States. Trump has edged away from the potential use of military forces, but tensions remain high. But there wasn't really much evidence of that in the equity markets yesterday as they continue to remain elevated.
Yeah.
Anything on the charts that's taken your interest that you want to share?
I quite like euro dollar.
You've got the screen.
Just again, sort of not picking tops and bottoms, but this is that's the completion of a AB equals CD formation just there. If we go to a shorter time frame, obviously we'll talk about it in a bit, but we've got ECB today. I'm just wondering whether or not, and of course it's too early to tell, but whether or not we're just sort of going to drift down to this 261, this is only an hourly chart, this 261.8% fib, and then consolidate going into ECB, which is what, 1 o'clock, and then maybe form a bit of a head and shoulders pattern. I just think
that 261 fib, where is that coming in?
111.81, and you've got a little swing low there. So I'm just wondering whether or not it's going to be risk off, and I'm just going to, where is it, if I can find it? I want to talk about this as well. This is the baskets that we look at, and these little black dotted lines are previous swing lows or previous swing highs on a monthly basis. And if you notice here, this dollar index has just hit that that support level, was just reacting higher from it. So I'm just a bit too early to tell, but I'm just wondering whether or not we might be seeing a little bit of bottoming formation in the dollar and then topping formations in a few of the dollar majors.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm looking at.
It feels a bit risk-offy, doesn't it? And if I was talking about this morning, if you go to the S&P, you've got a 78.6% fib here, which Joe loves. And then if you go to the DAX, he loves it. You've got a 78.6% fib here.
Is that from the swing high? These are the base.
These are the daily charts, yeah.
Yeah. The only one that's not showing it is FTSE. That hasn't sort of like retraced
they've
up
sort of
anywhere near.
hit it perfectly this morning.
Yeah.
And I think it's on. It's not on CAC. It's not on CAC. A good CAC looks like a little head and shoulders pattern. So I'm just thinking it might be turnaround Thursday, maybe.
Yeah, why not? Always used to be turnaround Tuesday, but we're in lockdown,
Tuesday.
so
Yeah.
people lose track of the days.
I pushed it forward a bit.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm sort of looking at going into this ECB mumble.
Yeah, I sort of tend to agree with what you're saying. Actually,
Bloomberg
has said a little bit like that.
Bloomberg has said this morning. I keep on going on about it, but they've got a really good morning email that they send out, and they're basically saying that they've allocated 750 billion euros for this. I think they call it pandemic bond buying program, and they've only allocated 250 billion up to now. And most analysts are expecting them to allocate the balance today. And if they don't allocate the balance, then sort of Bloomberg are suggesting that you could see a very quick switch around in stocks. Because they were saying that last time Lagarde was out talking, this is going back in March, she said that they weren't going to buy Italian bonds, etc., and stock market collapsed. Right. So she's got to be careful today. Put it that way.
Okay.
Or she's got to get short before she talks.
Never, Steve. That's Trump does that, isn't it?
Just pinch the screen. This is just further to the what you were talking there about stocks. This is a chart of the Euro Stoxx 600, the FTSE 100, and the S&P 500, all added together.
Combo.
And as you can see, it's hit that 61.8% level on a collective basis.
I like that.
On the daily chart. So there is potential that we are running into some resistance. I mean, there's just been no check back in this at all. No consolidation, no correction. It's just been sort of one-way traffic, really. And that's obviously a concern because, healthy markets do need pullbacks and corrections and consolidations.
Yeah. And we normally have a catalyst for these big moves, don't we? So it could well be today.
Yeah, I mean, they need to do something, don't they? They haven't really done anything yet, have they, Europe, compared to what the US and the UK have done?
But she might be sitting there thinking, well, we've had quite a decent recovery and, shops are opening and things are not getting back to the norm. She might hold back until July, September. But
yeah, possibly. Or that's the thing. We're looking at we're talking about a potential resistance and maybe a potential risk off move. But if they've only bought, what is it, a third? They used a third of the emergency buyer program.
250 billion up to now.
250 billion. So where the stock market's going to go if they start to load up with the rest?
All-time highs.
Well,
I see a lot of the banks were coming out yesterday or this week saying, "Oh, hold on, it's not quite as bad as we think it is, and we expect the recovery to continue," and all backtracking.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing. You sort of there's not many sellers up here, and if they've got 750 billion to spend, and they've only bought a third of it. It's like anything. If you look at the gold price, if you sort of like were to actually try and buy enough gold to back the currency in circulation, dollar wise, gold prices would be something like $20,000.
Wow.
Because you can't physically buy. The gold price would just keep going up and up and up and up and up. So it's all a bit of a messed up financial world. The one I was looking at is cable. If I could just have a little show you on that. Just yesterday, a little bit of a shooting star posted yesterday, and possibly if we get a sell off today, that'll be a shooting star formation, which goes alongside what you were saying. We've entered short on that this morning, showing you the cable.
Lovely colours.
Yeah, about your winners.
Yeah. Just thought I'd mention that. There's a bit of if I go on to, this was the chart that I drew for the hourly. So volumes decreasing, head and shoulders formation. really the sort of like the break was here 125.30, but I just wanted to err on the side of caution and make sure we do get a clear break. 125.20 was the entry level, and looking for a move down to 124.40, which would be 124.09 is the 38% retracement. So only a minor retracement, as you can see.
Looks nice
from
though.
there. Yeah, it looks okay at the moment. So
Decent break now.
I'm obviously taking that as my gun to the head challenge about an hour ago. No, the only what else did so Euro sterling was interesting for me because I don't really see that as much of a turnaround in the euro. The euro looks a bit more positive for me at the moment. So I've got this short-term trend line looking positive. I'm looking to buy a small dip in euro, so that's why euro sterling for me it also is a buy. Looks like potential for this nice sort of like move up to continue. Really, that's the 4-hour chart. So
I wonder if we get a head and shoulders there, maybe.
Yeah, possibly.
I'm
I don't mind as long as we get triggered long first and then we hit the right shoulder. We'll have done all right in that. Bullish hammer here
before the ECB.
Yeah, momentum going up, and obviously all falls together if the ECB implement the more money towards the buying program. That'll all be good in the hood. FTSE is the only one for me that you're talking about, the 78.6 fibs, and this is the poor brother looking at not even got to the 61.8. I think it's just so I'm a little bit apprehensive on whether it's to do with Brexit or not. I don't know. Just not too much confidence. We've got through the 50% and extended higher, so it looks like we're heading towards a 61.8, which is a bit of a congestion area between that and the 78.6, which is way up at 64. So we've still got 700 points to go before we get there.
Is that all?
Yeah, that's what I mean. So the poor performing brother, the run to the litter, I think, at the moment.
Yeah.
Silver as well. We sort of saw that hanging man candle.
So you sold that yesterday, didn't you, on the gun to the head?
Sold that yesterday. Yeah, it didn't really
go anywhere, did it?
No, it sort of like stayed lower, but it didn't. There's no momentum to overnight. There was a little bit of follow through again, but yeah, I think it's just a time thing. Because it's the dollar impacting, I think it's just sort of feels like a correction, but it's plenty of room to move lower within the bullish trend. So just a short-term idea, really, looking to sell that.
Well, you was the only winner yesterday on the gun to the head challenge.
Nice. Well, not nice, honestly, but good.
Yeah. What are you looking at on VIX? Nothing.
Yeah, just it's sort of like it's continuing to drop lower. But obviously a few events coming up that maybe will add a bit into the mix. So, but as this goes lower, as we've said before, this high spike, dollar is a safe haven. As it gets back to normal levels, gold, Swiss become the safe havens.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's
lovely.
It for me.
Excellent, thank you, Steve. So, gun to the head yesterday, we had a loser in sterling New Zealand dollar, got off to a fantastic start and then just died. Silver was a 0.46 winner at the close at 9 p.m, the only winner on the day, and similar with US dollar, Japanese yen, sort of just hang around and didn't really go anywhere. No. And come 9 o'clock, we was down just over half an hour on that.
No, follow through, yeah.
Difficult markets, I think that's sort of shown overall. We can't really catch anything from a momentum perspective on these short-term trades, and that's been the case for a couple of weeks now. So maybe today will be the turning point if there is any sort of pickup in volatility and follow-through. So has anyone got any ideas today?
I'm just going DAX.
Go on, then.
I'm just gonna go DAX. I haven't got support until here, which is 11,660. So I just ECB there. 12461. I'll have that at 65.
Okay.
So selling DAX at the market. 12461 it was, just ticked up 5. Stop at 12583, targeting 11665 for a monstrous 6.5R when Lagarde forgets to turn up.
Okay, good luck, Steve.
I'm going to go with copper this morning.
Look, he's finding his head and shoulders everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, it hasn't really sort of like, I was hoping for it to rally higher to form this right shoulder. And basically the risk reward for this trade was good. But obviously needed that squeeze higher, hasn't really had it. So that there is a sort of like a little bit of a convoluted head and shoulders there, not the best one I've ever seen. But if we do get a measured move from that break, because it's broken this the bottom of this neckline, if you took it as a straight horizontal line across, we're getting a move down to 242.50 area, back to this swing low. So it looks like I've missed the selling the rally. So I'm happy to jump in at current levels, which is 246.22. 246.22. Have a tight stop. 240. Gonna put 247.72. Hold on. There you go. And we go for one risk reward. No, that's being greedy. We'll go 3-1 risk reward. That's no good either. I don't think it's
Who's heavy breathing?
242. That's not me, is it you, Joe?
Could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's where I am. I'm going for selling here 246.22, targeting 242.72, and a stop at 247.72.
Lovely.
On copper.
I am keeping with the risk off theme and looking at sterling yen, partly because Steve's trade on cable looked quite nice to me this morning, so I've drawn a little bit of a head and shoulders on here, thinking that this is going to sort of roll over a bit. If there is any dash to safer haven assets, then the yen should pick up, and therefore that should send this lower. So we've got a bit of a break, arguably there, although it's not amazing. But I'm going to sell it at 136.42. Going to put a stop at 136.75 and target a move down to 135.38, which is the measured move of this target here. So 3R on that.
Good luck.
Yeah, we shall see. Okay, so news-wise, as we touched upon, we've got this ECB rate decision later. No change in rates expected, but an increase in the bank's pandemic energy purchase program. The PEPP may be announced.
Like it.
We've also got US initial jobless claims, which is expected to be 1.79 million, down from 2.1 million a week earlier. Anything else on that we should be keeping an eye out for?
No. Just on Trading View, someone liked my cable trade idea this morning, and their name was Not Even God. So it came up as a alert on my email. Not even God liked your trading idea.
I like that.
Yeah. So I don't know. I looked to see who else he liked and see if he was just taking the piss out of my trading idea, but I haven't quite worked it out yet. But thank you, Not Even God.
Cheers, Not Even God. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it. Let's wrap it out for today. Good luck if you're trading. Keep an eye out for those Euro events around midday, 12:45 specifically for the rate decision, and then obviously the press conference after that. And we will catch you all tomorrow.
Yeah, enjoy. Cheers, guys. Bye.